owns Holy Grounds Coffee, Hernandez Handyman. We first met at an event, and I just remember Ashley and her husband really standing out because their slogan is, "I can fix anything but a broken heart." I just thought, what a clever slogan for a handyman service. But since then, the handyman service has grown quite a bit, and you're not just a handyman service anymore. You guys are full-on contractors, right?
Correct, yeah.
So tell me a little bit about that journey, like you're part of that journey in growing that business to where it is today.
You know, I always tell people, I don't manage the business, I manage my husband. So it's really just about wrangling him. Hey, where are you at? You know, where are we at with this job? Thankfully, you know what? He's really taken such a forward leadership role in his business. Not that he didn't before. He did it in a different capacity. So now really he does almost everything. I'm really hands off in his business and kind of, dove into mine a little more. So he's really hit the ground running with that, and it's grown even more. So I'm excited for him for sure.
That's amazing. I mean, it takes a lot of support for businesses to grow and thrive. It's never just a one-person operation, right?
Right.
How has your family been able to support the growth? I mean, has that been kind of a hardship on you guys?
Obviously as business owners, your business isn't the traditional, clock in, clock out. So, you do make certain sacrifices, but we really are blessed to be able to be like, hey, if we really, are intentional about needing certain times off, we really have that flexibility. So we're blessed in that regard, to be able to be your own boss and control your own schedule. It has its benefits too, but it does have some downsides. You are the lifeblood of your business. So if you're not there and you don't have, all the support quite yet because you're building, your business isn't moving if you're not there. So.
Oh, you couldn't have said that any better, honestly. Do you think that by having Hernandez Handyman already in place, it really was able to help you with your vision with Holy Grounds Coffee? Because, and I'm asking that because as I watched the videos, I'm seeing how much your husband was involved in the transformation. Like, do you think that you would have even had that vision if you didn't have that support?
I feel like I'm naturally always looking for creative outlets. So I would have had that vision. I know without him, it wouldn't have been possible. He really put in so many hours and so much of obviously the heavy lifting portion of it, literally and figuratively. So yeah, without him being able to do that, it probably would have been much further out of reach, at that point. But yeah, he definitely was the backbone on getting Holy Grounds from, it was a hole in the wall to what it is today. The before and after pictures and videos are pretty incredible what he was able to accomplish.
So the Holy Grounds actually has kind of like a double meaning in that way.
Right, exactly.
Do you want to tell us about your vision for Holy Grounds? Like, what got you started with it?
For me, really, it was staying at home with my kids is wonderful. I love them. I love, pouring into them. But I really craved that connection with adults, as single moms, or I shouldn't say single moms anymore. When I was a single mom, you're always working. And so I was so blessed that my husband was able to provide a life where I could be at home with my kids. But I really did miss being able to have that adult interaction. I was just waiting for him to get home so I could be like, how was your day? What happened? What did you do? If I didn't know, details from speaking with him throughout the day. So really what it was about for me is connecting with people. I love to meet people where they're at and, just kind of love on them, through all sorts of, walks of life and different scenarios. So.
I love that. And I see that in our community. You've always been very accepting and loving and kind to people. And I think that is a big reason why you have such a big support for your business. You're in a small town.
Right.
Are there some challenges you face being in a small town when starting a new business?
Yeah, I think, we are up against, the big name competitors. Dutch Bros is specifically one that is right in our town that we have that, competes essentially. And I think too, you have to be so many different things as a business owner. I have to learn how to market. I have to learn how to, create different drinks and be ahead of trends and, training staff and coaching them. Being a true leader, you're wanting to develop them where they want to go rather than where you think they are or where they should go, because otherwise you're just kind of chasing your tail. So yeah, you definitely have to wear many hats.
I love your social media content. I think you guys are so funny, so clever. Where do you get your inspiration from?
Definitely other social media accounts. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's hilarious. We have to do that. My kids will send me different stuff like, oh, we got to try this. And friends, honestly, they're like, oh, you should do this video. And I'm like, I'm always game to do it. And thankfully we have, good staff and people that are willing to do the goofy stuff with us.
Yeah, I think that it means a lot. It probably keeps your team driven and motivated, and probably even makes them closer to each other, right?
Definitely. Yeah, built a sense of, I'd say like a little bit of ownership when they're like, hey, can we do this video? Or, whatever. We've been slacking a little bit on that. And we've been a little focused on some of the other stuff we have going on. So, and what's to come next. So.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about what's to come next?
Yeah, sure. So we are we're moving into opening an additional side of our coffee shop. We're going to be opening up our bakery. Our focus will be cinnamon rolls, so we'll be doing custom cinnamon rolls. We'll obviously have the tried and true, the classic cinnamon roll always, but we will also be rotating out our menu to do seasonal, different specials, things like that. We'll also have a full range of other, cookies and pastries.
So is this like a model you're following, or is this something you guys decided like, hey, nobody's doing custom cinnamon rolls, like we have to be that person?
Yeah, that was really what it was birthed out of. I love Cookie Tree. I think they're wonderful. And we were like, well, we could kind of, play off some of the, the great things that they do and do some different stuff. I'm not sure if they have cinnamon rolls, but we definitely saw the need for that in the area and was like, hey, we might want to, kind of pull that in.
Yeah, you'll be the cinnamon roll tree.
Exactly. Well, and we have a name. So I was trying to sort out, do I name it similar to my coffee shop? Do I want to differentiate it a little bit? Because really the intention is that you can still get coffee while you're at the bakery. It'll all be communicating with each other internally, so that people aren't, having to jump from one side. We'll have a lot more seating space on this other side. So that's another benefit. People, they love the coziness, but they also sometimes don't want to sit next to their neighbor. And, so some people just, you just want to be alone and have your coffee. And so, we did come up with a fun name, and it is going to be a little different, but same theme.
Very cool.
Yes.
Okay, I have to think about it. Holy Roly.
So close.
Oh my gosh, I better not guess it just in case.
It's Holy Rollers.
Nuh-uh.
Yes.
That's so funny. That is so funny. Yeah. I love it. So will you be able to, you said there will be communication, so will there not be like an access between the two? You have to kind of go through the outside?
Yes. Okay. So the bakery is actually an old bank. And so the walls are like 12 to 18 inch thick poured plaster.
Wow. So
my husband was like, please no. So I was like, okay, I won't torture you. And plus, one's on a raised foundation, the other's a slab. So it would really be like a lot of architectural maneuvering to really make them flow.
Gotcha.
And I don't know it would be the best move.
Okay, gotcha.
So, yeah.
So I'm going to kind of switch gears a little bit, because one thing that has always been very fascinating about you to me is that you were the mayor of Live Oak. And I'm like, what inspired you to step into a public service role like that?
Truthfully, and you're so sweet, I so appreciate all your kind words. Truthfully, it was Jesus. It was something that was specifically spoken over me, and I told my husband, well, I just want to do what I'm asked to do. So I did run. I was like, oh man, we have so much going on at that time. We had 5 kiddos. So I was
just like, 5 at that time.
Yes,
gotcha.
Yeah, we were down a child. And so I was like, man, my husband's business is pretty new. At that point in time, I didn't have a coffee shop, but we definitely had a full plate. And so I was like, oh boy. So I did the best I could. I ran and I am, truth be told, my kids will tell you, I'm afraid of dogs.
Really?
I love dogs. I've been attacked a few times, so I'm always like, I love my dogs, not your dogs. And so I was like, I will talk to anyone, anywhere. I don't want to talk to you at your house with your dog. And so when I would do, like, we had to do door knocking. You do have to go and interact with people. And so I'd be like, tell my kids, hey, do you hear a dog at the door? So anyways, so that was my biggest thing. I was like, man, if I don't win, it's because I didn't go to the doors.
Oh.
So yeah, but when it was all said and done, when the numbers came through, I was the top vote getter.
Wow.
So it was pretty neat.
That's awesome. So as in your time as mayor, is there anything that stands out to you, something that you're so proud of accomplishing? or that you feel like you made such a positive influence in either a person's life or in the community's life?
I think my biggest accomplishment, we were able to take some ARPA funds and about $500,000 in funds, and we were able to reinvest that back in the businesses in the community. That hadn't been done ever in history, and we really modeled that after Marysville. They really had a great program set up, and I brought that to our current city manager at the time, and I was like, hey, is this something we can implement? I really feel like the businesses here need to feel supported, especially after COVID. You know, we want to show that we care about them in the community and investing in them.
Mm-hmm.
So they were able to utilize grants, and it was $30,000 per business in total, and so they got $20,000 interior to make improvements, and then $10,000 exterior.
Wow.
So that was something I was really passionate about.
That is a huge impact for a business owner to be able to have a resource like that.
Yeah.
Especially in a small town too, when you know, like you're saying, a lot of these businesses, they've never had help like that before.
Right.
So to be able to implement that, that's amazing. What was one of the hardest lessons you learned in being in public life?
Yeah, I think that not everybody has the best intentions was hard for me. Still is hard. I try to be really a person of integrity. So if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to make sure I do that, you know, to the best of my ability. You know, with governmental systems and processes, people just don't understand. It's just not as quick or as easy as we want to think it is, and we feel it really should be. So I think for me, that's been the hardest part, because I really try to be honorable in anything I ever do, and I won't do it just to earn, you know, political following. That just isn't the heart of who I am.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was the hardest part.
Yeah, that makes sense. What would you say to another woman who may be interested in taking a leadership role but has not done that? Is there some kind of advice that you might give that person?
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely say, you know, to do it as long as your family is there to support you. You know, I think we have a really good time in life that we are able to show the younger generations that, you know, even if you have a full plate, you know, you still can make a huge impact with even doing small things. It doesn't always have to be a full, you know, campaign or political, you know, running, but
Mm-hmm.
I definitely think you should always try to do the best you can in your community, just even with something small.
That's some pretty solid advice right there.
Oh,
I
thank you.
appreciate that. So you're a mom of a big, beautiful family. How do you, I guess, stay organized and focused and driven with so much to do every day?
You know, a good friend of mine, she always tells me, she's like, we're the chaos coordinators, which is so true. I wish I was organized. I don't feel like I am. Maybe I am to a certain extent. But sometimes I'm flying by the seat of my pants and just figuring it out as you go. And you just, you know, you got to be really flexible. I'm not a very, you know, things have to be a certain way. I have some friends that are wonderful at that, and I admire them. But I'm pretty go with the flow for the most part. You know, we just make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you have to do, really.
Exactly.
What are some values that you try to instill in your children?
I think, you know, being a person of integrity is huge. You know, always being honest. That is something I'm huge with. I can deal with the truth. I can't deal with lying. So I tell my kids, you know, I don't care what it is, but just be honest with me. You know, I can help you fix almost anything.
Mm-hmm.
But if you start lying, I can't help you untangle that completely. Then it falls on you. So that's something I think that I really try to stand by, those two things. You know, you can kind of sort everything else out.
Yeah. You have so much going on with family, business, and leadership. Who or what is your greatest support system?
Definitely my husband. My older two kiddos are so helpful too, but my husband's huge. Definitely, you know, always supportive of my dreams, and, you know, the poor guy putting in all this, you know, manual labor time after his full-time job. It's, you know, it's definitely, I'm sure, hard on him for sure. And so I try to support him, bring him dinner, or, you know, try to, you know, be supportive with him. And I always, he probably gets so annoyed by it, but I'm always like, FaceTime me when you're over there so then I can, like, at least be with you. And
Oh, that's so cute. How long have you guys been together?
we've been together 11 years.
Okay. See,
Yeah.
that's the kind of, like, example I love to see in our community, is that if 11 years in, you're still wanting to, like, FaceTime with your husband so that you can be on a construction project with him while also pouring coffee.
Right.
That's life. Like, that's like a good life to have.
For sure.
I love that so much. you guys have really good banter on social media. Sometimes I'm like, oh, she just said that? But then he comes back at like, I'm dead, Ashley, you're going to get it, or whatever. And it's just so funny to see you guys so playful and in love through all this time. What challenges have you guys had to overcome, like as you're growing your business, as you're growing your family? You have a lot of children. Yeah. And I know people tell you that all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know if you fully understand. You have a lot.
It's our normal, so I'm like, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, you're like, there's a couple of them out there. I mean, we have some out in the lobby now. I mean, how do you guys, when you have disagreements, how do you guys come together and make it work?
Yeah, you know what? I heard something that it really resonated with me recently is our pastor was talking about, whoever has the higher standard in a disagreement, you should always rise to that higher standard, the both of you. And I was like, man, that is solid life advice. I can say going through a business that you are both working in together can be tough on your marriage sometimes because, you both have different thoughts and viewpoints, and who's leading who sometimes can be hard. And then going through a construction zone with your partner is hard. And I was hormonally pregnant through one. He's a survivor, honestly.
Yeah.
He's such a good balance. He is the only boy out of 5 kiddos. So I always tell people they make great husbands. When I'm like going cuckoo, he's kind of like, yeah, I'm gonna go over here. But I think we're really a good balance. I tell people I'm not have you seen my husband? You don't get with a guy like that because you're a delicate flower. So, I think it's a great balance for the both of us. But disagreement wise, there's a lot of times where we just have to come to either one and be like, you know what, I'm sorry, we're under some pressure, and just really being graceful and knowing that we're human and we're still trying to work it out. There can be some pretty fun times, but that guy makes me laugh sometimes. The things he comes up with, I'm like, holy cow. So yeah, he really is my best friend.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then you said he was one of 5, but the only boy?
Yes.
And then now you guys have 6 together, and there's one boy.
One boy.
So what are the odds of that?
I know. I'm like, they want one more, and I'm like, you guys know that our odds are not like real good for boys. I mean, I know you want it, but like we've tried.
Yeah. Have you played roulette?
Right. Yes. Exactly.
I feel like you keep hitting pink.
Yes. So true. So true.
So, well, I love that you came in today to share some information about you. Is there anything else you want to share about you, yourself, your family, your businesses?
We are going to be opening the bakery January 1st, so I hope everybody is able to come out and, kind of get a feel for how everything is at our new spot. And you know what? I feel like if you really have a dream, you should totally chase it. You'll never regret trying. So.
I agree with you on that for sure. I feel like the sky is the limit. If you can think it, you can dream it, you can make it happen. You just have to tell people what you want, and they will help you get there, won't they?
Yeah, exactly. Find your tribe.
Yeah. I've never really gotten anywhere like big on my own. I've always had to have support.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, thank you, Ashley.
Well, thanks for having me.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.